Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all a quick update on Litecoin. Right now we're at 113.22. We're down 5.29%, and we're waiting for the break, guys, and it looks like it just came out of this symmetrical triangle. And what's happening is we're breaking to the downside right now. So that's something that we do want to be aware of. We want to pay a lot of attention to it because this is significant. What happened was, while we were in this symmetrical triangle, guys, we had a beautiful symmetrical triangle here. I mean, we had touches up here, we had 3 touches here, and those were our lower highs, and we had our higher lows here, which we had 3 touches. And then we had this break to the downside. And remember, with symmetrical triangles, like I've been trying to pound home for probably the last week or so, symmetrical triangles are neutral patterns. They typically break with the trend more often than not. This time we broke to the downside here, guys. Now, the short-term trend has been down. You can see that we've had lower highs. But what was happening is we were also having these higher lows as well, and our overall trend was up. So, in my opinion, I was anticipating more of a break to the upside here, but what happened was, and it looked like it was actually going to happen here, you could see how candles were getting really tight, they were starting to round, and then we had that break right here, and it was a false break. We wicked out of it, we came back down, and we fell. So what happened now is we had a break to the downside on decent volume. So now what we need to do is start looking for support areas to see what happens here. And remember, guys, out of symmetrical triangles, what happens is we can break and just fall straight down and keep falling. We can break, come back and back test this trend line and then fall farther, or we can basically break down, bounce back up, and get within this symmetrical triangle again and start respecting this trend line again. So right now what we have to do is be patient, though, because this is a big break to the downside. And in my opinion, this isn't a place where I say, okay, we're down 5%, I want to go long right now. You want to see what happens with this candle close here. And remember, this is just on the 4-hour here, so we have not even had a 4-hour close with this yet. What we want to see is if we're going to close real close to down here where this lower wick is, which would make it more powerful of a candle, or if all of a sudden we have a very long wick and we close back up within this lower trend line here, which that'd be a huge hammer candle there then, and we'd see if we can get a reversal. But right now in the 4-hour, we are having our 20 EMA, our 50 moving average, our 100-day moving average, and our 200-day moving average acting as that overhead raging river on us. Okay, and guys, if you like these videos, these quick ones here, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Notification bell is really going to help you out whenever I put these videos out. As you see, I like to cover when we have breaks, if I'm able to do so, things like that. I can get them out to you quick. But we were talking about this death cross that was taking place in as well yesterday or the day before on the video, and that's our 100 crossing down over our 200 on the 4-hour here, and that's just pushed us to the downside here. So we're kind of in a sticky area, guys. We're down around on the stochastic 3 and 9, so we would hope to get some type of a bounce here. Typically when we get down in this area, you can see we get some type of a bounce. So we're gonna have to wait to see where this candle closes, though. That's the biggest thing that I can emphasize for you, is be patient and really wait and see what happens, because this area here was defended with some long wicks, over here was defended with some long wicks. So we're going to have to see if this turns into that long wick, or if this is going to be a very powerful, like, shaven head Maribozu candle here to the downside. We'd want to look at that, because that's going to be very significant and important. Now, if we go out to the 1 day, I want to spend just a little bit of time here on the 1 day. Our stochastics at 31 and 35, so truly we could have broken either way. You can see how we went up here. It almost looked like we had a little double top, and we're going to see if we do have that downward cross or that confirmation. Now, to the downside, I'd look to see if we get support around that 108.87. And then to the upside, because we always want to do both sides, guys, it'd be trying to get back up within this, basically, the symmetrical triangle, and that's going to look at around 118. We'd want to see us get back up above right there. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to look at with you was our Fibonacci retracement levels. So if I get this off from the 4-hour, we're really going to step back. We're going to go from our swing low to our swing high of this entire move and see where we fall. And we're going to go from this inverted head and shoulders at the bottom all the way up to the top here. Okay guys, so we have officially broken down through the 0.236 now, and that was at 117.99. So we're going to see if we get a candle close below it. Then we would look at that 0.382, which is going to be around $100, guys. You're looking at support here that we potentially have. We could have that 100-day moving average as support. We could have this area. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. If we drop here and we fall through that 108, we definitely could go down to $100 very fast. So we do want to keep that on our radar and pay attention to that stuff, guys. And sometimes when we do have these shakeouts, so our trend is still up, right? Everything's looking good there still, guys, okay? Our trend is still up overall. But when you look at these things and you have these push-ups like we had here, this was almost 20 days of correction. So now I want to count the days here and see how long we've been in this correction. So about 18 days, 17 to 18 days that we've been in that. And another thing you can do, guys, while we're zoomed in here for the people who are still here, you can take this and you can look and see that we're having a trend line break just out of that. You know, just throwing them on here, that it's so important to look at trend lines. They can help you out so much in this game. Trend line breaks are very valuable, and it can mean a lot of percentages either to the upside or the downside. But this is definitely a downward break, so I wanted to bring this to you and put this on your radar, guys. And we have to make sure and watch here. If we get our 20 EMA crossing down through our 50, that's going to be bad news as well, because we've already lost our 20 EMA. If we lose our 50 as well, then all we have to rely on there for support off our moving averages would be the 100 and the 200 day, which we want to stay up above both of those. You know, a back test of 100 here isn't looking too crazy or out of it either. It just all depends on what's going to happen with these candles the next few days. So, you know, guys, pay attention. Like I said, we were in on the 4 hours here. We're looking, we had that symmetrical break to the downside, and now we're just going to have to wait to see where we find support. If we're going to get any in this area, down around here, if we're going to get any in here, those are the things that I like to look for, guys. Really pay attention to that and pay attention to this break. God bless and take care.